Welcome to my channel. Today we are getting into some new sponges. So today I have the Juno Co microfiber, the lemon drop sponge. I could not resist this sponge. I'm 100% that it was the color of this sponge that drew me towards this. I really wanted to test this out. I really wanted to battle this out, and I wanted to do it soon. I want to do a battle with a beauty blender, a somewhat new beauty blender. I've only used this one a few times and I tried to wash it, but it's got stains on it. It's good though. It's pretty new. One side of my face I'm going to be doing the beauty blender, and the other side of my face I'm going to be doing the microfiber sponge, the lemon drop. And super quick, I did get a few other sponges with my order because they got me with that minimum purchase for free shipping. So I ordered a few other things. So if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up and also comment down below if you want to see more videos with these sponges, because these are a lot cheaper than the beauty blender. Now I have something super exciting for you guys. Oh my gosh, I have watched this probably a million times, but Nessa CX Beauty here on YouTube made me an intro and I love it. I think it fits my personality perfectly. She hit the nail on the head with this, but let me show you guys. I almost cried. I was like, whoa, I cannot believe people are so nice that they would do that for me. Oh my gosh, now my face is kind of turning red on my cheeks. Okay, we can't turn red today. It does come with this little sheet on how to use it, and it does say that you can use the sponge wet or dry to apply makeup products, liquid foundation, concealer, contour, blush, highlighters, loose powders, and powder foundations. And I'll get into everything else once I start using this. Oh, I got an eyelash on it and dog hair, of course. Annie's hair gets everywhere. Oh my god, probably on my fingertips. But let me see if I can zoom in on this sponge. It is so soft, you guys. I can't even tell you how incredibly soft this sponge is. It's almost like you can see just how freaking soft and fluffy it is. I have the damp beauty blender and the Juno Co sponge right next to each other so you can see what they look like. And then I also have an older dry beauty blender next to it so you can see all the different sizes of the beauty blenders compared to the Juno one while it's dry. I'm gonna go wet this really fast. She got pretty big. So the wet beauty blender and the wet lemon drop sponge, and it's a lot softer, pretty even with the beauty blender in my opinion. This one might be a little bit firmer, like in the center. I feel like on the outside, like if you just lightly squeeze it, they feel almost identical with squishiness. Texture, they are totally different. This one is like, it almost feels like you ripped off the arm of a teddy bear and got it wet. And I was like, this feels more like a sponge. This feels like stuffing almost, like a pillow. Squish, 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 squish. So I pulled out a few face products that I'm pretty confident in knowing how they perform on my face. So I also wanted to pick out the Beauty Blender brand. So I have the Bounce Foundation and the Beauty Blender Opalescent Serum Primer because my face is a little dry today. I washed it a little too rough this morning. And I also have the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer because I'm pretty comfortable and confident with this concealer right now. And of course, tried and true Laura Mercier setting powder. So because this primer is made by Beauty Blender, you can apply it with a sponge. So that'll be the first test. I have 2 droplets that are running down my hand. Whew. So we're gonna first go in with the Beauty Blender just because that's what I'm comfortable with. And I'm gonna do this on this side of my face. trying to keep it half and half. It distributed all the product, and then for this one, I'm gonna take the flat end. Oh wow. So first off, I don't know if you can tell, but it definitely picked up way more product and is distributing it a lot further than the Beauty Blender did. And I definitely feel like this side feels more hydrated, while this side I feel like I've been wearing it longer. Can you guys notice the difference? I definitely noticed the difference in the shine. So real quick, this sponge is supposed to be 30% softer than the original, which is the microfiber velvet sponge, which I have not tried yet, but if you guys would like me to try it, just let me know. I will be more than happy to make a whole nother sponge video. I'm pretty excited about all of these. All right, now to get an even amount of foundation, which is gonna be the hard part. Even though this one's kind of moving around, this is pretty even. So I'm first gonna just take the Beauty Blender side and apply it like I normally do. Nothing that interesting. But the reason I wanted to do half and half of my face is I wanted to compare textures, and I wanted to see how this wore on the long term. Like if one sponge maybe presses foundation into the skin better than the other sponge, if the texture on my face looks different. So that is one side completely on my face. You can see where all of that foundation pretty much is and how much it is on my face. And I'm going to take the lemon drop. We're just going to tap. You can even tell on there. Oh, already I feel like this is a lot more full coverage. Oh no, I don't want to waste product that's on my hand. So I'm going to switch the sponge around and use the rounder side just to get around my nose right here. So I feel like right here it just doesn't want to get into the crevice of my nose. Wow, you can literally see where I put the foundation, and I didn't use all of it. So I'm just gonna take the rest of it on a Beauty Blender so I don't waste it and put it down my neck. So now before I put my concealer on, I want to zoom you guys in to see if you notice any difference in the texture of my skin. This is the side with the Juno Co sponge. I don't really know what this is right here, if you can see that. And then this is the side with the Beauty Blender. I definitely noticed that this side is a lot more matte, not as full coverage. This side, I feel like it conceals a lot more on my face, like freckle wise. Like you can still see my freckles, but this side you can definitely see like my veining on my cheeks and my freckles. So it definitely helps with the full coverage aspect of everything, but I can't really tell which side I like better. This side actually looks more dewy. This side looks more like a skin finish, even though it's the exact same foundation and primer. So now let's go into the Hello Fab Concealer. So I'm just gonna use one side of the brush and then the other side of the brush, just so we have an even amount of product on each side. Going in with the Beauty Blender first. I'm pretty comfortable with how this works. The one thing I will say that I noticed about the Beauty Blender that I might like a little bit more is that I feel like it's pretty squishy, so I can grasp onto it a little bit more and like maneuver it the way that I want to, and like pinch it almost to get into like the tiny little parts of my eye. So this side I use the foundation. I'm going to use the other side for the concealer so that we can see what's going on here. So again, I feel like it's a little bit hard to get into the corners, but I feel like I do like the finish of this side a little bit more than the other side. So you guys can see each side. I do have deeper creases on this eye to begin with. So ignoring the creases and just looking at the coverage, I definitely feel like it covered more of my dark circles on this side than this side. I noticed way more darkness right in here than I do on this side. And even when I bend my head down, I notice more of the eye bag on this side than on this side but you guys can let me know for yourselves. And then as for the product on here, it definitely didn't stick to the sponge as much as the foundation when I dipped it into my hand. So I feel like applying it with it already on your face might be a better route than picking it up, because picking it up, it definitely had way more like staining. And I do believe on the sheet it does say do not apply the foundation directly onto the Juno sponge as it will transfer too thick. I'm going to set my face now, and I'm going to use both sponges wet. So I'm going to take the Laura Mercier and just set under my eyes, and I'm also going to do the side of my nose and a little bit on my cheek because it blurs out my pores and my smile lines. And then lastly, my forehead, even though the forehead lines, they're gonna stay the same. Now with the Juno Co sponge, I'm gonna use the side that I used with the concealer and pick up the powder. Oh, I definitely like how it distributes the powder on the side a little bit more. Nose and cheek. Yeah, I feel like I can take this powder and just move it all over my face. Like it almost feels like a powder puff and not so much as a sponge. Zooming you guys back in on my under eyes so that you can see. I mean, it definitely looks like there's more powder underneath this side, but it definitely distributed everything a lot more than I thought it would. While this side, I feel like it clung on to the powder. Like I feel like you can even see the powder on the sponge. While this side, it almost feels like a powder puff, not so much a sponge. Like even with my fingers, I'm rubbing over it and it feels like powder. While with the BeautyBlender, it tends to make everything really cakey. I'm gonna show you guys this because it's gross. Because when you use powder and the liquid, it makes like a paste, right? So when I use a bunch of powder with my BeautyBlender, it tends to really cake up on my BeautyBlenders and it's pretty hard to get off. I do have to scrub them. This one is pretty old and pretty dirty, so I did use the new one today. All right, so now I'm gonna do the rest of my face and then I'm gonna check back in when I have all of my makeup on, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Wow. Alright, so I just finished my makeup up and I wanted to just quickly say what I'm using. So on my eyes, I have the Mini Breaker palette, and for my wing eyeliner, I use the Velour liquid lipstick in Purple Urkel. And then I wanted to tone down my cheeks a little bit, so I didn't go too crazy with highlight. That way, if there was any kind of like separation or like weird oils coming through on my face or whatever might happen, the highlighter is not gonna really distract from anything. I'm gonna go about my day. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning right now. I should probably check in around 2 to 3 o'clock, and I'll set a reminder this time because the last time I did a wear test, I did not do an in-between of my wear test, so I gotta set a reminder for myself, and I'll see you guys in my check-in. All right, real quick little update. I don't really notice any difference. I've been wearing my makeup since 8 o'clock this morning, and it's now a couple minutes past 3. I'm already exhausted for the day. I don't know about you, but I definitely get that like 3, 4 o'clock tiredness throughout the day, and now I'm like dying. But I mean, I've been looking at my face and smile lines, forehead lines, everything looks pretty much the same. It didn't really get any worse. Nothing is like breaking down. No like really bad oils are showing through. The one thing that I will say is the coverage is really holding up on this side. So if you're a person that loves full coverage stuff, then I really think that you would like this sponge. Also, another thing, I left both of the sponges out and I noticed that this one is still pretty damp, which I'm actually quite shocked about. The BeautyBlender has shrunk tremendously. This is just a dry BeautyBlender, but you can see like how much, because the BeautyBlender is double in size, so you can see how much the Beauty Blender has shrunk. But this one, I feel like it hasn't really shrunk that much. And like when I squeeze it, it still feels a bit damp to the touch. I think I love this sponge. I really want to try it out with some different foundations and just use it by itself. If you guys want more videos with the other sponge, don't forget to let me know. But this is the end of this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. And also give me your feedback on what you thought from the two different sides and about the different sponges. Do you want more videos with these sponges or not? And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.